All right, everybody. Thanks for taking a look at this on how Rentervention uses GPT, sort of a deterministic AI experience to help tenants assess an issue and let that rubber hit the road with certain tools that we have available through Gavel. So first things first, the tenant doesn't need to be an expert in a legal issue. All they have to know is that they're experiencing some sort of a housing issue, right? What Rentervention does here is it leverages AI to be able to identify uh, a fact pattern and be able to determine whether or not it can find any sort of a housing issue inside of that. And as it goes through the conversational experience, you'll see a few things pop up. First of all, right, that we have, it said that there's mold in the rental properties, express some empathy with the situation that somebody's experiencing. That's all generative AI right there. And then talks about how you can work together to be able to deal with, conditions, right? And so now we're starting to use a legal term of art. And that, and that's the categorization that's gone through in the background. So if we have a tenant that's experiencing this, let's just say arguably a 0 point of knowledge, we can start plus oneing that knowledge. And this is sort of a next step. So with the system, this deterministic system, it is effectively rules based in some ways, has certain junctures. But next steps is because since they're in Chicago, is to be able to determine whether or not the RLTO applies, right? And so again, as we're plus oneing knowledge, it wants to know certain things about somebody's housing situation to be able to say whether or not the RLTO applies. So this person can be able to say, all right, well, I'm in a large building in Chicago. All right, based upon that, right, that might be enough to be able to make that determination. And now we can look at specific pieces of the law, and hone in on the legal information that we're going to provide. And, finally, with that last question, to be able to just get some additional information. Now we see the generative AI at work here again, talking about empowerment, right? So, I can speak from experience. I don't have the most empathic way of dealing with a lot of situations. But what this can do is this can deliver the same experience each and every time for people to be able to say, this is about access to justice and empowerment. And, you're on a path here and, a path to better your life. And, kudos to you for doing so. And what the bot has now done is it's now found some knowledge inside of our knowledge base that may speak to this issue. So, does generative AI to be able to pull down this information and create this summary, and it may even recommend an article. So as we look at it, right, let's look at repair and deduct into the RLTO. Again, it's going to give another snippet. Some options might be here, and it starts talking about this 14-day letter. Okay, well, I can read more about this and enter the knowledge base, and this is going to open up a new tab where people can really dive in, and plus one, plus two, plus three their knowledge, on what it looks like to repair and deduct. Well, what's great is talking about that rubber hitting the road is boom, right? We now pull up our Gavel app where somebody can, as your landlord refusing to take care of your home, again, having that sort of call to action here and assessment, and work through what somebody's experiencing inside their home, going room by room, attaching photos. And as we go through it, right, we can identify a specific demand, furnish some information about the tenant and their landlord, how contact information works, and delivery, right? And this is one of the beauties of Gavel's native Zapier integration is I can take this document and I can send it to the landlord via email. I can send it to the landlord via certified mail return receipt requested in addition to regular mail, and even text images of the document to the tenant that they can then forward to their landlord. Because really, developing the work product is a lot of times half the battle. It's delivering that work product that can really be, sort of adding insult to injury to somebody's experience as they're navigating something. But that's how we use generative AI and this deterministic approach, and then be able to connect the dots to come to a point on applying that knowledge to be able to use to achieve those ends. Thank you much.